Now calling the Gulf Coast Mullet Society net. Now calling the Gulf Coast Mullet Society net. W4GCM is the official call sign of the Gulf Coast Mullet Society. This net meets Thursday evenings at 5 p.m. Central Time on 3.885 megacycles in the AM mode with W4GCM as the net control station. The Gulf Coast Mullet Society was formed July 27, 2002 in Pensacola, Florida for the preservation and use of tube-type AM amateur radio equipment. This is a directed net. Your net control station for this Thursday evening is Ron. My call sign is N4RT, November 4 Romeo Tango, and my location is Bromley, Alabama, near Mobile. In remembrance of our Mullet Society silent keys and an appreciation for our veterans and law enforcement members and other first responders, I'd like to direct 30 seconds of silence in their honor starting now. This is W4GCM and the Gulf Coast Mullet Society. Sam, KF4TXQ, are you on frequency?
Roger, roger. And good evening to you. You got a good signal here to Lake Martin. This is the Gulf Coast Mullet Society official mystic statement. The mullet has a gizzard like a chicken. Is the mullet then the chicken of the sea? KF4TXQ said that. Back to net control.
Thank you, Sam. KF4TXQ, W4GCM. Appreciate the mullet statement and got you on the list, Sam. We'll be coming back around to you here shortly. Are there any general announcements for the net? If so, come now phonetically with your full call sign. Nothing heard, so I'll remind everybody that tonight is our frequency measuring opportunity, or test, or contest, if you want to call it that. We have one of our Baldwin County amateurs who's skilled in this sort of thing, Don Newsom, WD4EGF, is monitoring. He doesn't have an antenna cut for this frequency to transmit, so Don is in a listen mode only right now. And he has the frequency measuring equipment set up at his QTH. And tonight, what we're looking for is if you're on a boat anchor with a VFO and you want to participate in the frequency measurement test, then let us know that. Try to make a transmission of at least 45 seconds to 60 seconds in length to give him plenty of time to take a look at your carrier. And all of these old boat anchors and VFOs drift, so what he's going to do is take a look at your exact frequency at the end of your transmission. So if you're drifting up, if your rig tends to drift up, you might want to set it low in frequency so it drifts up, and by the time it hits 3885, you know, turn it back over. Or if it drifts down, you might want to start a little high and let it drift down. But the event will be logged at the end of your transmission. So at the end of this exercise, the station participating in the contest with the boat anchor and VFO rig that's closest to 3885 will win a grand prize, a Mullet Society coffee cup. Thanks to Richard, our net manager. Now, with that said, again, we'd like to keep the transmissions to at least 45 seconds to a minute in length, minimum. Let us know what you're running. We need to know what kind of rig you're running and what is determining your frequency. We can't allow synthesized rigs or GPS locked rigs or any of that kind of stuff. This is strictly a boat anchor kind of exercise. All right, with that said, any questions on, oh, by the way, the winner will be announced next week. They'll give us time to look at all the results, and we'll determine a winner during the week. And next week's net will announce the winner. Any questions on the frequency measurement test? This is W4GCM. Okay, I guess I'm hearing some carriers, but I don't hear any audio, so we'll proceed. Any stations now wishing to list items for sale or items that might be needed? If so, come now with your call sign.
WB4GWA.
WB4GWA. Hello, Ron. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, Ron. Hope you're doing well. It's good to hear you tonight. I've got a 32S1 that is in bad need of power supply. And I've been looking on eBay and all those places, but I haven't found one yet. So if anybody happens to know where I can find a 32S1 power supply, I sure would like to hear from you. I'm good on QRZ. You can just drop me an email. W4GCM, WB4GWA.
Okay, Ron, we copied that. Ron, I'm sure everybody copied you just fine, but we'll repeat it and just in case. Ron, WB4GWA, over in Georgia, is looking for a power supply, Collins power supply, for a 32S1. So if anybody has one, contact Ron. I'm sure he's good in QRZ. Anybody can help him out now. Okay, nothing heard. We'll take 30 seconds now to give everybody time to fine-tune our transmitters and get them tweaked on frequency. 30 seconds starting now. W4GCM and the Gulf Coast Motor Society net. Good, strong carriers. Let's see if there are any mobile or QRP stations that'd like to check in. Come now with your call sign. Any relays on mobiles or QRPs? Okay, nothing heard, so we'll start taking general check-ins, and tonight we'll start with alpha calls, followed by whiskey calls, then November, and last but not least will be kilo. So alpha, whiskey, November, and kilo. We'll call them in that order. So any alpha calls, call now.
This is 89N2, Alpha Bravo 9, Mexico, Quebec.
Alpha Bravo 4, Alpha Mike, 84 AM.
Okay, I copied AB9MQ Massa and AB4AM Rob. Any additional alpha calls? Take November calls now. Please spread them out and give your call sign phonetically. This is W4GCM.
November 4, Juliet Kilo.
November 4, X-ray, Able, Easy.
Okay, I had a train wreck there after N4JK. We're calling for whiskey calls, please. Whiskey calls, now come with your call sign.
Whiskey Alpha 4, Whiskey India Alpha. Whiskey India Alpha.
W4OLJ.
Whiskey 4, India Delta Delta.
WA4 FUU, and I would like to participate in the frequency measurement.
Whiskey 4, Charlie Tango. WA4KM, Whiskey Alpha 4 Kilo Mike. W0, Victor Mike Charlie, voice modulated carrier.
Oh, and I think you got me, WB4GWA.
Okay, yes, I do, Ron. I have you at right after Sam, up near the top of the list, WB4GWA. And also acknowledge Whiskey 4 Oscar Lima Juliet, W4 I Diddle Diddle, WA4 FUU, W4 Charlie Tango, WA4 KM, and what a nice surprise, W0 Victor Mike Charlie, voice modulated carrier, Robert. Glad to have you on board tonight, Robert. We'll get around to you here shortly. Any other whiskey calls tonight? This is W4GCM.
You did not call, Ron. W4WYA. I should be up on the list.
I'm sorry, I had you on there, Larry, WA4WIA. I was also on the list. Gotcha. Any additional whiskey calls? Okay, next is November calls. I have N4JK. Any additional November calls?
N4XAE. Over. November 4, call 04 Victor.
November 4, Whiskey Delta.
This is W4GCM and the Gulf Coast Mullet Society Net. Acknowledge N4JK, N4XAE, N4GUV, and N4 Whiskey Delta. Bruce, any additional November calls? Nothing heard. Next up is Kilo calls, and please spread them out. Kilo calls, call phonetically.
Kilo 5 Foxtrot Golf. Kilo Whiskey 4 Tango Victor.
Kilo 4, Bravo, Kilo Charlie. Kilo 4, Juliet, Charlie, Papa. And I'm going to see how close the HG10 is on the frequency thing. Kilo Tango 4, Delta Delta.
This is W4GCM and the Gulf Coast Mullet Society Net. Okay, I had kind of a train wreck at the beginning. I got K4VZS, K4JCP participating in the measurement test, KW4TV, K4BKC. But I had a station that sounded like they were on single sideband. Tried to check in, couldn't copy that station. So if you're trying to check in our net, check, make sure you're in the AM mode. And then I had Kilo Tango 4 Delta Delta. Additional Kilo stations.
Kilowatt Boston 3 Romeo Hotel Romeo.
Okay, I copied KB3 Red Hot Radio, KB3RHR. Any additional Kilo stations?
TSK.
I heard a station in there, but he's light. Can someone relay that station?
KN4 TSK.
I got Kilo 4. I can't get the rest of it. Try it again.
Kilo Nancy 4 Tango Sierra Kilo. Kilo Nancy 4 Sierra Kilo.
Okay, I think I copied Kilo Nancy 4 Kilo November Tango. Is that correct?
I can relay, Ron, if you need that.
Yeah, go ahead, Larry.
The suffix was Tango Sierra Kilo. I think you got the prefix. Tango Sierra Kilo. Break, over.
Okay, got it. Kilo November 4 Tango Sierra Kilo. All right, we'll print it off right there and go back up to the top of the list and pick up our Mullet Society senior spokesman, Kilo Foxtrot 4 Tango X-Ray Quebec. Sam, glad to hear you tonight. Got a great signal. Take it away, W4GCM.
Thank you, Ron, and thank you for being there and what you do. I got too much stuff on here. I'm doing better now. This is KF4TXQ on Lake Martin, just south of Dadeville, Alabama. And good to hear everybody tonight. The band's in fairly good shape. Hello to Robert, W4GCM, up there in the frozen tundra. And Robert, you probably hadn't heard Little Hoss since I've converted Little Hoss to a two-holer linear. It's a cathode-driven amplifier, and I redid the RF deck and got a big old edge-wound coil out of a kilowatt matchbox and put it in there, and it seems to be doing pretty well. The exciter is a 7300 Icon. But anyway, we're doing pretty good. We just been here piddling around in the shack trying to get stuff straightened out. And I went crazy and got me another 7300. I got one as a backup rig, and I'll use it barefoot. And then I got the other one I was using for exciting the KISS 500. So anyway, that's going to be my standard rig from now on. But anyway, back to you, Ron, and you're sounding great from down there in Bromley. W4GCM, a.k.a. N4RT. This is KF4TXQ. Back to net.
Okay, Sam, I tweaked my frequency a little bit there, hoping I get back on frequency a little better than I was. KF4TXQ, W4GCM. Thank you, Sam. Well, the rig's sounding great. Good signal down here, and always appreciate you being there and delivering the mystic statement. Next up is Ron, WB4GWA, W4GCM.
Hey, Ron, W4GCM from W4GWA. Ron Concord, and Ron, I'm running a Johnson Tyson Ranger, and obviously known a few times Johnson for the drifty DFO, but I hope it's fairly close to frequency. And using the Delta link tonight that I just put up, and hopefully it's doing what it ought to do. And go ahead and run one of those. And I got an XP200 behind it, so hopefully I'm making the journey down there without too much trouble. Good evening to everybody on the net. I'm stopping everybody really well, and really good signals tonight. So I hope that's a long enough transition for you, Ron, and for the frequency coordinator there to check out everything. W4GCM from W4GWA in Concord.
Okay, Ron, solid copy. WB4GWA in Concord, Georgia, W4GCM. Well, good copy, Ron. Great to hear you on tonight. And the antenna and the rig's doing a super job for you. We got you down as a participant in the frequency measuring test, and we'll see how that turns out. I appreciate you being there, Ron. We'll clear with WB4GWA, and next go up to Normal, Illinois to pick up Massa, AB9MQ. Massa, what you running tonight, over?
Okay, W4GCM. Let me get my beautiful straighten up there. Okay, W4GCM with the Gulf Coast Morris Society net. This is AB9MQ, Massa from Normal, Illinois, and thanks for letting me in, Ron. The condition is excellent, and everybody's coming in with a very, very nice signal. Tonight I'm on the multi-Elmach AF67. Since you mentioned it, I switched from crystal control to the BFO. So right now it's a BFO operated with a multi-Elmach AF67. And this one is with a 226 the tube, getting about 14 watts, driving a Johnson Thunderbolt amplifier. The output is just about 150 watts. that goes to a dipole up to 30 feet high, fed by the homebrew transmission line, 14 gauge, and matched with a Wilson KW match bus. The microphone is a D104. And I just can't believe this condition is so nice and very quiet, and I can copy everybody. And here in the Normal, Illinois, the central Illinois, the temperature is 62 degrees, and I'm overlooking southern sky from my basement casement window, and the beautiful, beautiful waxing crescent moon, and the Jupiter is right next to it, so it's a very nice evening. But anyway, as I see my the frequency is shifting. Anyway, this one is AF67 with a VFO operating right now. But thanks for having me in. Well, I really appreciate it. I really enjoy the rest of the cruise transmission, and thanks for having me in again. W4GCM with the golf course more site. This is AB9MQ, Massa from Illinois.
Okay, Massa, AB9MQ, W4GCM. Well, solid copy, Massa. Doing a great job down here with that AF67 and the amp. And we got you down as participating in the frequency measurement contest. And doing a great job with that rig, by the way. Always proud to have you with us. And sounds like you got a pretty nice day up there in your neck of the woods. We'll clear with Massa in Normal, Illinois, and now pick up Rob, Alpha Bravo 4 Alpha Mike, W4GCM.
Okay, Rod. Hang on just a second here. Let me both swing the VFOs. Let me both just move in. Well, that should be pretty close. I wasn't in here early enough to and I'll try to get so, yeah, we're on the Viking tonight, and hopefully zero VMs. Send you an email. I'm gonna have to here over the next few days or whatever, but nothing too major, but I'm sure it's something very simple for you to help you figure out. I'll probably send you an email. But anyhow, enjoying the great signals here. I hope the band holds up and stays together. Tuesday night, everyone's going pretty good, but I was going well, and all of a sudden the band kind of just went south. So hopefully it won't be like tonight. So I won't stay on here too long, because I know everybody else is going to try to get in here and see how the radios do and how well they hold up. Looks like I'm drifting a little bit high here, but that's okay. We'll see if we got enough time for tester to get the thing labeled up. So anyway, Ron, doing a great job as always, and like I say, enjoying the great signals here tonight. So I'll get the stuff over there to you. Sit back and enjoy all the great signals tonight. So, W4GCM in the group. This is AB4AM.
Okay, Rob, AB4AM, W4GCM. Well, good copy, and Viking's doing a good job for you, Rob. Sounds good down here, and I appreciate you also participating in the frequency measurement test. See how you come out there, and always appreciate you being a regular here on the net with us. We're clear with Rob, Alpha Bravo 4 Alpha Mike. Next up is Larry and Aniana, WA4WIA, W4GCM.
Okay, Ron. Boy, your signal came up. You know, when you first came on frequency, I got you at about 5.9. Now you're about 30 over. So maybe your rig warmed up or the man got better. But good to hear you. It's always good to hear you, and it's always good to be on the mullet net. We're running an older Kenwood, receiving on a 75.4 receiver, and running the command amplifier, running about 300 watts. So we're not a part of that. We have the Ranger sitting over in the corner, but it's not wired where we can get to it right now. So anyway, that solves that problem. Good to hear everybody. It's always, you know, the band has its pleasure as it moves around and does what it does. But right now it seems to be doing quite fine. Thanks a lot for what you do, Ron, and I'm going to send it back. W4GCM, Whiskey Alpha, Whiskey India Alpha. 7-3s, everybody.
Okay, Larry, are you on a solid state VFO or are you on a synthesized Kenwood, over?
We're on a synthesized break, over.
Okay, well, we won't consider you a participant then. I wasn't sure if you said an older Kenwood. I wasn't sure. Solid state VFO would be okay, but synthesized rigs, I think we decided not to allow that. So, got you down, and you won't come back later on the Ranger or something. We'll be glad to accommodate that. We'll pick up late stations at the end of the net. So if you want to do that and try it, well, that'd be fine. Thank you for being there, Larry. Always appreciate you holding forth on the frequency at the beginning of the net, and always good to hear you as well. Nice signal tonight. We're clear with Larry, W84WIA, and next go up to Sweetwater and pick up my friend Virgil, W4OLJ. Virgil, I heard you on the Collins and sounded great. W4GCM.
W4GCM and the net. This W4OLJ. Well, okay, Ron, thanks a lot. You're coming in pretty nice up here tonight. Stronger than normal, I think. Yeah, we fired up the Collins here this afternoon, and thought I'd try out tonight. The Collins 30K4, around about 250 watts output, and using a WRL 755 VFO with it that we've used it for years. Sometimes we'll use a crystal control, and then sometimes we'll use this WRL VFO, and that's what we've got on here tonight. It's good to hear everybody. Good to hear you up there, Robert, up there in the cold north. I'm running the 21 V2 rest tonight for Robert, but I heard another one on there. That radio up there, he was on with his, and it sounded good. So, 2 or 3 of your rigs are on here tonight, I think. But anyway, thanks a lot, Ryan. You're doing a good job there, and I know there's a lot more wanting to get in here, so I'll get off you and let them in here. And I like to sit back and listen to all these fine AM signals. W4GMC, W4OLJ in Sweetwater.
Okay, Virgil, W4OLJ, W4GCM. Well, yes, there are several of Robert's rigs on the air tonight. I'm on one of them as myself. This old Sky King transmitter with the Quad 4-1000s is a beauty, and Robert was the master craftsman on that deal. So glad to have Robert here visiting with us tonight. Thank you, Virgil. We got you down on the 30K4 and the WRL VFO and participating in the frequency measurement test. We're clear with Virgil, W4OLJ, and next pick up Roy over in Pensacola on the BMW 5100, W4I Diddle Diddle, W4GCM.
All right, thank you, Ron. Good evening to you and all the net. This is W4I Diddle Diddle, Roy in Pensacola. And man, I just woke up a while ago. I was taking a very nice little siesta, and thought, Lord, I've done missed the net. I got in here at 5, so, and I didn't have a chance to warm Thelmaloo up, so I'm just sitting here looking like this, Ron. I'm on a BMW 5100 NC300 receiver and a B&W amplifier running about 300 watts, and I'm running a little different this evening. I'm running a Electro Voice RE27 microphone, and just having myself a good time listening to all these good AM signals. I ain't got anything else for the net. I usually run a frequency counter to sort of keep up with my frequency but I've got that all shut off this evening and just running Thelma Lou, sort of blind, and hope I'm fairly close to frequency. But anyway, all that aside, it's good to be here. Good to be a part of the AM radio family. I ain't got anything else for the net, Ron. Just I hope everybody feels as good as I look. I turn it back to you from W4I Diddle Pensacola.
Okay, Roy. W4I Diddle, W4GCM will, Pamela's done a great job, Roy, and we'll see how she does without all the external frequency measuring components there. We got you down in the test, and we'll give out the results here next week, so hopefully she's doing a good job on that end, too. Thank you for being there, Roy. Always great to hear you. Next up is Richard, also in Pensacola, W4FUU, our net manager, W4GCM.
The W4GCM, W4FUU. Good evening, Ron. Thanks so much for calling the net and also for hosting our first, hopefully annual frequency measurement contest. The net control stations are not eligible for the award, but I would like to have my frequency measured and recorded just for curiosity. I want to also mention that next Thursday evening is Thanksgiving, so I don't think we'll have a formal net. You'll have to check with our net manager and see. But in the past we have not, but we do encourage an informal rag chew. So that's something to be looked forward to. Let's see, what else? I have one other thing I want to mention. Oh, I'm on the Drake Twins tonight, the B line, Drake B line. E4XB for the frequency measurement. Probably not my best choice. As I realized, I'm just too late to do anything about it. But the Drake is carrier controlled, and consequently, when it's not being modulated, it has little output, little RF output. But other than that, that's my bad. Ron, I want to thank you for doing the net, for taking care of the net and so forth. And I'm enjoying listening to everybody tonight. Roy, you were loud as always. And Larry, I want to thank you for the pre-net warm-up. So this is W4FUU, Richard in Pensacola, turning it back to W4GCM. Ron, go ahead, please.
Okay, Richard, W4FUU, W4GCM. And I should have said Richard is our former net manager. John, W4TP, is also listening and assisting Don, WD4EGF, with the frequency measuring tonight. And John is actually our current net manager, but we appreciate Richard for all he's done for us in the past, and Richard also is continuing in the role of a net control station. And Richard, we really appreciate everything you do for the net. And also Richard put together the order for the Gulf Coast Mullet Society coffee cups, and that will be one of the will be the prize for the winner of the frequency measurement test. So appreciate you doing that too, Richard. And we got you down on the Drake Twins, the T4XB, and I'm glad you reminded me. I forgot all about next week being Thanksgiving and not having a regular net, so I guess we'll have to postpone the official results until 2 weeks from this Thursday. Although I'm sure John might be up next week and may have some informal results. I don't know. We'll definitely announce it here on one of the nets in the next week or two. All right, we'll clear with Richard, and thank you for reminding me about Thanksgiving next week, Richard. I just flat forgot all about it. All right, next up is Ben in Mentone, W4 Charlie Tango, W4GCM.
Ron, this is W4CT, and I have my own little frequency measuring system up there. I'm doing the best I can, and I want to be measured, frequency round, and I'm running a Johnson Viking 2 with a Viking model 122 VFO, and the receiver's a 129X HQ type. And I've been watching and measuring and on my own a number of frequencies, and I'm quite impressed with how well folks are doing. It's going to be a crapshoot at how this thing turns out. But I hope to fall in the category there somewhere. So this is a Viking 2 and Viking model 122 VFO. Everybody sounds great tonight, and the band is cooperating. Last night, I mean Tuesday night, was a crazy thing. And the ionosphere just took us away. Zap. So I think that's enough, and I hope it stays close to frequency, and I'll be anxious to hear how it turns out. What I would like to know, what I'd like to, maybe you folks could do, is number those of us who participated, beginning at the top winner and going downhill in frequency or closeness to frequency order, like 1, 2, 3, 4 and all that. That would be interesting. I've got 5 or 6 of us already with put in. I did quite well. I learned too long. I've lifted maybe past my mark. W4GCM, W4C.
Okay, Ben, W4CT, W4GCM. Solid copy. Viking 2 doing a good job for you, Ben, and we'll see how well you do. We got you down on the frequency measurement test, and always good to hear you from up there in Mentone. Beautiful, beautiful part of the state of Alabama up that way. We'll clear with Ben, W4CT, and next up is Kevin in Villa Rica, Georgia, WA4KM, W4GCM.
Audio is a little bit hot. W4GCM and the group. This is WA4KM. Yeah, I'd like to participate as well. The audio might be a little bit hot. Well, no, it's okay. I'm on the Jackson Ranger this evening, DFO control out of floor, and I'm receiving on a Hammer HQ150. Around about 30 watt or so, but anyway, before the see how the Ranger, I sort of got on the back and announced that we were doing it this week. I totally forgot. Back in two with the 122 VFO as well, but oh well, we'll try the Johnson Ranger. I'm hooking up my the powerhouse like a clock. I love getting this stuff out and keeping it going. So anyway, I'm happy to start frequency. It looks like it is. I'll be going to do this with you. I hope you don't say I should be on. I was paying attention to what you're running. If you're running but I do will be the juice, so you'll run something on the zero, but if not, that is what it is. Thanks for picking me up, and comment on how the sound, if you don't mind. That's it. W4GCM, WA4K, and Georgia.
Okay, fine business, Kevin. WA4KM and Villa Rica, W4GCM. Well, the Ranger sounds good, Kevin, and of course it has the tube type VFO, so we've got you down in the frequency measurement contest here, and I'm on the Sky King transmitter, the 4-1000s, a pair in the final, modulated by a pair in the modulator, about 375 watts carrier, and listening on the NC303. I'm driving this thing with an old Kenwood TS520S, so I guess I could be eligible too, since that's a solid state VFO. It's not a tube type, but it is analog, not digital. But anyway, we appreciate you being here, Kevin, and we got you down. Always good to hear you from up there in Villa Rica. We'll clear with W4KM, and next go up to the Frozen North and pick up Robert Smith, W0VMC. Robert, so good to have you check in with us tonight. W0VMC, W4GCM.
And W4GCM in the wonderful sounding group here. This is W0. Robert up here in the far, far north. Not so cold tundra of western Wisconsin, you guys. We actually saw 50 degrees up here, so I'll take that for sure. Yeah, good to hear one and all. Man, and I'll tell you what, congratulations, you guys running those old tube style VFOs, because they have been real close, very close. One guy mentioned a 755, and boy, that's a real good one too, for sure. But yeah, we're doing the lower the ones and zeros today. I'm looking at a whole lot of heavy metal around me, but tonight we're on our DS series, which is a quadrant multiplier technology-based transmitter. We happen to get lucky and twist some alligator clips together, and lo and behold, the thing decided to produce a little audio for sure. So quick mention there, Sam, man, congrats on the linear convert. The old little house there, and I'm telling you, it made it up here just fine. And of course, the run down the line here. And Rob, yeah, just shoot me an email. So have a few pictures of whatever you think the culprit is, and we can take care of that real quick. Yep, and don't wait on the Christmas rush, my friend. Let's get that rascal up and talking for sure. Virgil? Yeah, my goodness. Yeah, the 30K. I've had the pleasure to see that thing up close and personal over the years, and it's sounding as good as it ever did for Virgil. So great to hear you. Yeah, that's no doubt. So of course, Ben and a bunch of other guys, IDD, 5100. Just a pleasure to hear it for sure. So Ron, let me get it on back to you. Wonderful job as always, and just making a good ionosphere up here. Just doing what you've been doing for years, for sure. W4GCM and the great sounding up. This is W0, voice modulated carrier, Wisconsin.
Okay, Robert, W0VMC, W4GCM. Robert, are you on a analog VFO or are you digital, over?
No, this transmitter is based on a DDS with a field programmable gate array and some other things, so it ought to be dead on, you know. Very clean, 250 megasamples a second, so yeah, you can't throw me in the old tube style VFO group there, Ron. Good.
Okay, fine business. I thought I heard you say DDS, but I wasn't sure, and so we won't count you in the frequency measurement test, but I tell you what, we're sure happy to have you with us, and hey, don't be a stranger. I know you do check in with us from time to time, but we'd love to have you be a regular here on 4885 on Thursday evenings, Robert. Always great to hear you. Good signal up there in Wisconsin. We're clear with Robert, W0VMC. Next up is the mayor of Destin and another one of our net control stations. N4JK, W4GCM.
W4GCM from N4JK. Well, Ron, I do want to be sure you got it right. I am the impeached mayor of Destin, and that's the best I could do. Let's see here. I do want to participate in the measurement. I'm tweaking a little bit. I'm going to leave it right there. No? That thing's drifting. I ran him a T150. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to get it on the air because my amplifier blew up a couple of days ago, but I finally kludged something together a few minutes before the net. I hadn't had this VFO on in ages. And it moves around a lot. So it's a moving target. Donna, thank you for your work in measuring all this. And it is neat to hear all these signals tonight. Robert, thanks for joining us. It's been way too long. I'm glad you are calling in from the cold north. And Sam has got him a backup IC7300. Well, that's just good news. Find something you like, you know you can stick with. You should get a backup. So let's see. Anyway, rig here is a T150, a Gonsa GSB 101. Around about 100, 150 watts carrier. And listen to everybody on a Flex 1500. Well, thanks for calling in that tonight, Ron. Sure I'm enjoying it. W4GCM from N4JK.
Okay, fine business, Art. N4JK, W4GCM, and the Gulf Coast Mullet Society net. And I'm sorry I didn't know you'd been impeached, but I think that's better than being recalled, so that's not too bad. But we'll make a note of that and refer to that in the future. And Art is also one of our net control stations and does a fantastic job as always. And Art, we have you down on the frequency measure and test on the T150. Be fun to see how it does. Appreciate you bringing that rig up tonight for the net. It always sounds great. Okay, we're clear with Art and Dustin, and next up is Frank N4XAE, W4GCM.
N4XAE, running gentlemen. I hope I'm making it in. I'm second receiver, not all that reliable. But at any rate, good evening to everyone. My rig is a Globe Scout Model 65K, and we're running dynamic microphone. 600 ohm. Not very good. I would like to get into the contest. Just casually, I'm not worried about but I would like to see, I would like to know my frequency. As we have custom ground for this season, I have custom ground on a crystal from 3825 to 3885. Wondering about that. I gotta tell you, I'm doing this all manual tonight, and I'm just glad to be here. I'm a bit nervous, but hopefully that was long enough there. Ron, you did a great job. Evening to everyone who had the Thanksgiving. N4XAE.
This is KE5K.
N4XAE, W4GCM. Frank, I didn't copy much of that. There was a lot of hum on your audio. At least I think that was you. I don't think it was another carrier on top of you. So I didn't catch what you're running and if you're participating in the frequency measurement test or not. Check your mic connection. I don't know if you got a loose connection or what, but there was a lot of hum on there and audio was kind of low. N4XAE, give me what rig you're running and if you're participating in the test. Over.
Okay, Ron, I'll try it again. I don't know that I'm getting any audio out. I've got a bad jack. I'm going to change that out tomorrow. I'm running a Globe Scout 65 Alpha and an SPC 600 ohm and my over. Yes, I'd like to be put in the, I'd like to know my
Okay, Frank, I got a Globe Scout. I think you said 65 Alpha out of that. I'm assuming you're using a VFO. Is that correct?
Negative, Ron. I'm using a crystal that takes my John. So there is the frequency. Over.
Okay, I didn't copy all of that, but I'm assuming that's a VFO. You got a VFO on it, and I know the old Globe Scout was crystal controlled, but you must have a VFO on it. But you got a hum problem there that you need to check out for sure. All right, Frank, we appreciate you being there. We got you down and participating in the contest, and we'll see how you do. We'll clear with N4XAE and pace. Next up is Bill up in Odenville, N4GUV, W4GCM.
Relay arc.
And then I just...
this is Ron. Who's got the relay?
W4WSZ. Ron XAE is using a crystal that he ground himself.
I said, man.
Oh, okay, Bob, good to hear you. W4WSZ, W4GCM. Okay, well, we'll record it anyway, obviously. But obviously crystal control does not qualify for this particular contest. Take the relay there, Bob. I just wasn't copying him good enough to get all that info. W4WSZ, I got you at the bottom of the list here, Bob, so we'll come back to you here at the end of the current list. Next up is N4GUV, Bill, W4GCM.
Okay.
November, W4GCM.
Copying your fine. W5JAY.
Thank you, Ron.
KE5Q. If you hear that air conditioner.
I am running a modern...
it got hot in here. And I had to turn the air conditioner on, so it kind of makes a little racket over there. But it's 81 degrees in here. And yeah, we had a beautiful day. And
my name's Bill. I live in Odenville, Alabama. Good to be in here with y'all tonight. Gentlemen, today...
And the bird picture in white meter there.
I turned 60.
This is the RE320.
And I had something unusual happen I wanted to share. I think many of you will
Sounds like we had an exciting day.
A couple of years ago, I got back into railroad trains, and I found my original train set. But time had been very unkind. Improper storage did its worst.
She wouldn't touch it. She said she'd mess it up. And I said, well, I got to have a haircut.
My wife sent it out to have it restored. She paid to have it restored. And then for 2 years, the restorer and the money and the train were gone. Today, in the mail, I got my original Lionel engine back. Not only looking exactly like I had it, but completely rebuilt and in perfect operating condition. It was a special day for me, guys, and it might be for one of y'all like that. Ron, I appreciate it. I wish I had a radio warm to get in on the address. That's very interesting. Turn it back over to you again. W4GCM and 4GUV.
Okay, Bill, N4GUV, W4GCM. Well, it sounded good on the modern rig there, Bill, and happy birthday to you. Glad that today was a special day for you for sure. Always appreciate you being a regular here on the Gulf Coast Mullet Society, and Bill is one of the net controls on the South Cars net on 7251. So those of you who participate in South Cars or check in, you'll hear Bill from time to time holding forth on that particular net. Appreciate you being there, Bill. Thanks for checking in with us. Next up is Bruce, N4 Whiskey Delta, W4GCM.
N4, we're simplified, so appreciate the help on the test, but everything's good here. 58 degrees, clear skies, and real planter-uppers, and band's starting to go out again like it did the other night, so I'll keep it long. They say we're working on a Swan power supply for a 350. The Viking camera I got ready. I think I'm going to put it up here on a rock, and BF1 I'm trying to get calibrated. Oh, geez, yeah, we won't go there much more. So you can get the others in there and get the frequency test done. W4GCM N4WD.
Okay, Bruce, N4WD, W4GCM. We're a little light on me now. The band condition seems to be going long. I think I heard you say you were using a VF1. Is that correct, over?
Negative. I'm working on one to repair it.
Can I get a relay on Bruce, N4WD?
Working on one, Ron.
Well, I still didn't copy that. Whoever relayed was weak too.
He's working on the VF1, trying to get it fixed. Over.
All right, well, I had a double that time. I think Bruce is probably not participating, so we'll just leave that as a question mark for right now. I appreciate you being there, Bruce. You kind of faded out on me at the end, and looks like band conditions are changing quickly here, so we better get on down the list. All clear with N4 Whiskey Delta. Next up is John in Pensacola, K4VZS.
W4GCM, VZS. He was working on a VF1. I'm on a Ranger. I wanted to get the old LM freak meter out today and do it the old-fashioned way, Ron. Things didn't work out. I'm close. What can I say? Anyway, I'm a Ranger with a Alpha 78. I'm a 1500. Enjoying it. It'd be interesting to see how everything turns out. Back to you. I appreciate what you do. K4VZS.
Okay, John, fine business. K4VZS, W4GCM. We got you down on the Ranger and participating in the frequency measurement contest. So we'll see how that turns out. And always great to have you on here, John, and being a regular here on the net with us. We'll clear with K4VZS in Pensacola. Next up is Joe, sorry. Joe, K4JCP in Fort Walton Beach, W4GCM. K4JCP, W4GCM.
He's transmitting around. He's on the DX60, K1.
Let me know when you get I've got stations going back. I can hear you. KW4GCM.
Okay, I'm not copying Joe, so y'all let me know when he's finished.
If anybody can copy them for us,
Okay, I got it. K4JCP, W4GCM. Joe, I'd be surprised if you copied me. I'm not hearing you at all. Get band has definitely gone wrong on us, and that's going to throw a monkey wrench in everything, I'm afraid. But we heard you were on a DX60, and I'm assuming you're on a VFO, so we got you down in the frequency measurement test. And appreciate you being there, Joe. Next up is Manuel, KW4TV, W4GCM.
W4GCM, KW4TV. Excuse me if you didn't. Thank you for doing the net. I'm on the BMW 5100 Bravo with the Corsair SX111. And pre-net, you did a good job. We've got another round taken on top of us. Ooh, they've been giving me trouble. I can't hear anything but this. I hope they're popping me. As I said, I'm on the Bravo. And I'd kind of like to know where it's at on frequency and stuff. You never know. I think it's going a little high. But anyway, I will hold it up. I'll turn it back to you, Rod. Thank you for picking me up. W4GCM.
KW4TV from the tallest mountain in Florida.
Okay, Manuel, well, we copied you just fine. KW4TV, W4GCM, we got you participating in the test on the BMW 5100, and appreciate you being there, Manuel, and sorry that the band conditions are what they are, but that's the way it goes sometimes. All right, next up is Bob, K4BKC in Columbia, Tennessee. Bob, take it away, W4GCM.
Okay, Ron. W4GCM and the net. This is K4BKC, Bob in Columbia, Tennessee. Well, Ron, yeah, I can tell the band has definitely gone long. I hope you're able to copy me. Artie into MIN up in Long Island tried to check in when the band first went long. And I'm running the Collins 20V2 with the exciter, so I'm not eligible for the frequency measuring contest, and you know, I may not be on frequency anyway. I don't know. I think I'm pretty close. Listening on the R3 map, you're Simon's choice tonight. Good to hear Robert and Ben and everybody. I'm copying. I think I've copied just about everybody tonight. But thank you for running the net, Ron, and thank you for picking me up. Always a pleasure. 7-3, everyone. W4GCM. This is K4BKC.
Okay, Bob, K4BKC, W4GCM. Well, solid copy. Always great signal on the 20V2 down here, and even with the band going long, Bob, I'm copying you just fine. And got you down on the 20V2, but with the digital frequency control, so we won't add you in the frequency test. Bob is another one of our net control stations and does an excellent job. Bob, appreciate everything you do for our net. We're clear with K4BKC, and next go to Dan, Kilo Tango 4 Delta Delta. I hope I can copy you, Dan, W4GCM.
Oh, I don't think you have any trouble copying you tonight. W4GCM, Kilo Tango 4 Delta Delta. I'm running a digital synthesized DS101B. So I get a little bit of power out and turn off the power a little bit there. And I'll keep it short, and I'll speed my time back to the next controls and make sure that you are on the 4 Delta Delta. That's great. GCM.
Okay, Dan, I didn't copy your rig. Are you in the test or not? Over?
Negative. It's digital.
Okay, gotcha. KT4 Delta Delta, W4GCM. Appreciate you being there, Dan, and good to hear you again tonight. Appreciate you being a regular here on the Mullet Net with us as well. We're clear with Dan, Kilo Tango 4 Delta Delta. Next go up to KB3 Red Hot Radio. Craig, take it away, W4GCM.
W4GCM, here you're on. You just taking big dips and dives, but way above the noise. I mean, you got a great signal, but you go as much as 35 over a little earlier, so I don't know. I guess the gray line passing. Anyways, on the 21.2, so that counts me out on the test. But on vacation, you know, I'm enjoying that all the way till the 30th. So I did my chores today, and I can loaf around here this evening. Anyways, I want to wish you guys all a very happy Thanksgiving. And if we don't get to talk to you, and we'll always get to jump in here and participate with you guys. So, best of 7-3, Ron, all the way around. W4GCM, KB3RHR, up here near Pittsburgh.
Okay, Craig, KB3RHR, W4GCM. Well, happy Thanksgiving to you as well, Craig, and thanks for checking into our net tonight. Always good to hear you from up there, and appreciate you jumping in here and saying hello. Clear with Craig, KB3RHR. Next up is Kilo November 4 Tango Sierra Kilo, and I might need a relay on this one. This is W4GCM. Go ahead. Anybody here KN4TSK? Okay, I guess he had to run off there. We'll put him down for the numbers. I don't hear him in there. Next up is Bob, W4WSZ in Monticello. Bob, good to hear you. Take it away, W4GCM.
Okay, Ron, W4GCM, W4WSZ, Bob over in Monticello.
Anybody copy Bob, W4WSZ?
Boy, but we're on the...
He's loud up here, Ron. K4BKC.
Getting it...
okay, I'm not copying him here.
And
he's in there, in 4WD.
We'll be somewhere in the ballpark. And receiving tonight on GPR 90, and the antenna's a loop up at about 25, 30 feet. It's been a good day today. Been cleaning up some stuff, changing out some wiring, and got an electrician coming tomorrow to pull a couple of 220 outlets in, and also another 110, and get that a little more flexible without too much hooked on the same line. So hopefully they'll give you enough to count the measurement, and if you're still copying me. But I thought it was real neat. XAE was over at John's on Monday and picking up a crystal and ground it, and thought he had it right on the money. So it'll be interesting to see how close he came with that. So good to hear everybody when I did hear you, and we'll look forward to catching you again. W4GCM, good to hear you, Ron. W4GCM, W4WSZ.
Turned it back to you.
Okay, thank you, fellas. Wasn't copying him here at all. W4WSZ, W4GCM. Bob, I'm sorry, I just wasn't able to copy you. The band went long on us, and I've got a high noise level here anyway, so apparently everybody else is copying you fine, but I've just not got you here right now. We appreciate you checking in, Bob. Always good to hear you. I haven't heard you in a while. All right, I'm going to take a chance. BKC Bob said that Artie, N2MIN, tried to check in, and I didn't hear him, but let's see if we can pick him up. N2MIN, Artie, are you there? W4GCM.
Kilo Oscar Echo checking in.
Well, I don't hear him now, Ron, but Philip, Kilo Oscar Echo checked in. Over.
Okay, Bob, I did hear Philip. I just didn't hear Artie. Please down for the numbers. And Philip, go ahead and make one. And let me know if you're participating in the contest here. I did copy you just fine. KA4KOE, W4GCM.
No. I figured I was getting a late check-in on the Gulf Coast Mullet Society net. But here it is. I just got upstairs after eating dinner. The 7504 is still warming up. The solid state rig warmed up immediately. But 56 degrees outside at 91% humidity Friday. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing lots better. Over.
Okay, Philip. Well, I'm copying you fine. And is your solid state rig digital, or is it analog VFO?
That's 8040 Super Signal digital VFO.
Okay. Well, are you participating then in our frequency measurement test?
No, sir, I'm not. However, you can measure my frequency. And of course the analog 7584 is good to 1 kc. I think this 8040 is fairly close. With 100 cycles, but I've never taken the trouble to measure it. Over.
Okay, well, we were running a frequency measurement test tonight with boat anchors and VFOs, typical tube type, but an analog solid state VFO would also qualify, but I'm not familiar with the 8040, so I don't know if that's digitally synthesized or is that analog over?
70YY Super Senior 8040 with a digital VFO, covers of course 80 and 40 meters. Right now we're at 675 watts. It'll warm up to about 300 if I get long-winded.
Okay, gotcha. Well, we're sure that Don WD4EGF will measure everybody's frequency, but we won't put you down as a participant in the contest, because somebody's going to win a coffee mug from the Gulf Coast Mullet Society as a result of this evening's test tonight. And hopefully the conditions have been good enough for Don to get good measurements on everybody. But appreciate you being there, Philip. Always good to hear you. We'll clear with KA4KOE. That brings us down to the end of the list that we have now. We'll stand by for a few late stations if I can copy them. Band seems to have gone long, but we'll take the time out for any late stations. W4GCM. Okay, I heard N4DKD. Any others?
W4GCM, Whiskey 4.
I need a relay on that last station. I'm not copying.
Well, that's W4GUV, the Gulf United Victor Brandon in North Carolina, and then WA3MJY, K4BKC for relay.
Okay, Bob, I may have to have you pick them up because I'm not copying them. I got N4BKD in Birmingham, and WA4 Victor Charlie Bravo is in there also. I'm surprised I copied him with the conditions the way they are. And WA3MJY. So hang on, I'm going to try to pick up DKD and VCB, and then I'll turn it over to you to pick up those other one or two stations. N4DKD, Brian, good to hear you. Are you participating in our frequency test tonight, W4GCM?
Oh, there, Ron, good to hear you. Just got in work, so I guess I could participate. I'm on the Drifty DX100, VFO control. I hope I'm within 5 KC. Listen to everybody in the HR kitchen tonight. Man's really strained real long. So I won't keep it. I'll just pass it back. Good to hear you, Ron. They'll get started up early, and those folks still working have a hard time getting in. But good to hear you. N4DKD.
Okay, Brian. Yeah, good to hear you too. And got a good signal down here from Birmingham. And yeah, we're starting at 5 o'clock now because of band conditions in the fall and winter conditions, and even that may not be early enough because it starts going long around 6 o'clock. But we got you on the DX100, and we'll put you down as a participant in the frequency measuring contest to see how close you are to 3885. Okay, Louis, WA4 Victor Charlie Bravo, where you been, shipmate? WA4 VCB, W4GCM.
Hello. I'm sorry I had that squeal when I come on first, but I had forgot to cut my other speaker system off. I was getting feedback. W4GCM, good job, Ron. Good to hear y'all again down there. You sounded good. I'm hearing everybody up until about 5 minutes, about 10 minutes ago. Band started getting long there on me. But we're in Central Alabama, Shelby. Name is Louis, and I'm running the DX60 Bravo, listening on the Drake 2C, and running about 125 watts carrier with the SB200. And I'm on the crystal, supposed to be. I don't know if I got anything in the shack here that'll stay on frequency long enough to have a check. I don't think my TV is even on frequency. Anyway, howdy to everybody, and sure miss all the guys down that way, so it's getting kind of chilly up here too, so anyway, 73's Ron, doing a fine job, buddy. W4GCM, WA4 Victor Charlie Bravo, Shelby County, Alabama.
Okay, Louis. Well, you came way up there at the end of the transmission. Good copy. WA4VCB, W4GCM, and got you down on the DX60, but crystal control doesn't qualify, so we'll not enter you in the contest, but we'll, I'm sure we'll measure the frequency and see how close you are. Good to hear you, Louis, and don't be a stranger. Get on here a little more often with us when you can. With that, I'll turn it up to Bob, K4BKC, to pick up the northern stragglers there. Bob, I know you had heard WA3MJY, which I couldn't copy, and maybe one or two more, so if you want to pick them up, I'll stand by for you. K4BKC, W4GCM.
Well, W4GCM, this is K4BKC. Brandon, go ahead and tell us how it's going in North Carolina tonight. W4 Golf United Zulu, this is K4BKC for relay.
Okay, Bob, thanks for the relay. The band is changing here tonight, but I've been listening for a while and decided to fire up the Viking 1 from the late 1940s. So running the Viking 1 with 122 VFO and a straight unamplified stock D104, and as far as I know, stock Viking 1. And listening tonight on a Hammerlin SP 600, so mixed up things a little bit tonight, but nice being able to get back in here. I've been covered up with work for the last 7 days, so nice to be able to sit down behind the rig for a while. But yeah, up until the last couple minutes, everyone was just blasting in here. And I know the conditions are changing. Band is going long, so I won't hold it, but everything's good here in North Carolina. Today, it's a beautiful day. And I think we got up in the low 60s. That, K4BKC and Ron, you done a fine job here with the net tonight. Ron can copy W4GCM. This is W4GUZ in western North Carolina.
W4GUZ, this is K4 relay. It's fine business, Brandon. Your Viking 1 with the 122 Johnson VFO and the D104 is just sounding wonderful. And we'll enter you in the frequency measuring contest. And we really appreciate you checking in. From western North Carolina. I always sound good from over there. Now we'll go up to Pennsylvania, WA3MJY. This is K4BKC for relay for the Gulf Coast Mullet Society net. Go ahead, sir.
WA3MJY. I'm on the Johnson Ranger 2, and it's VFO controlled, and I'm looking on SF101 Mark 38, and most of the signals I'm hearing pretty good, although there's a lot of QSD. I'm running my system to an SB220 racket. So hopefully you're talking okay. Pretty nice up here today. It's 60 degrees. We've got a pin squad outside and we'll work on the antenna. K4BKC in Atlanta. Mike Juliet Yankee.
WA3MJY. This is K4BKC. Yes, sir, it has been a good while. And your Ranger 2 and SB220 is just really sounding good tonight. And what a beautiful station with the Halifaxers receiving. And yeah, we'll have to make a point of having a QSO soon. thanks for checking into the net. We'll put you down in the frequency measuring contest with the Ranger 2. Well, that's all I have, Ron. Back to you. W4GCM. This is K4BKC.
K4BKC, W4GCM, and I did copy MJY and DUZ. It turned out MJY was still a little bit light on me from up there in Pennsylvania, but Brandon copied him pretty good. His Viking 1 with the 122 VFO. Appreciate you picking them up for me, Bob, and these conditions are definitely going long. So with that, that brings us down to the end of the net tonight. We've got several participants, more than several, like about 10 or 12 participants in our frequency measuring contest, and like I said, we'll announce the winners later on, probably the week after Thanksgiving now. Since next week's Thanksgiving, there may not be a net, there might be a rag chew going on. Everybody's welcome to join the rag chew next Thursday evening. This time, the Gulf Coast Mullet Society net will conclude. I want to thank everybody who checked in for and participated in our net this evening. Our next net will be held again 2 weeks from today, officially, at 5 p.m. Central Time. Since next week is Thanksgiving, there'll be an informal rag chew session on the net, not a formal net. And not sure who the net control will be in 2 weeks, but there will definitely be somebody here on frequency. Also, as a reminder, please join the WX4AM Southeastern AM Radio Club net on Tuesday evenings with free net check-ins, I think starting earlier now, about 4:30 p.m. I think the net's starting up again at 5, also Central Time. And the Florida AM Group on Eli Memorial Net Sunday mornings at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Both nets here on 3885. So this is W4GCM, now clear, and returning the frequency back to regular amateur use. 73s, everybody.